Hello, everyone, and welcome to One Civil Law. So I was at the gym earlier, and so I missed the first part of the State of the Union. I watched the back half of the State of the Union. Seemed fine. And then I was catching a little bit of the Democratic response, and I decided that I didn't want to live anymore. So I decided, misery loves company. And so I thought maybe I would share my wish for death with you, and we could watch it together. So, okay.
Americans, and they...
All right. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. This is totally fine. Mm-hmm.
Good evening. Good evening and welcome to historic Williamsburg. We are gathered here in the chambers of the House of Burgesses. In 1705, the people of the Virginia colony gathered here to take on the extraordinary task of governing themselves. Before there was a Declaration of Independence, a Constitution, or a Bill of Rights, there were people in this room. The people who served here ultimately dreamed of what a new nation, unlike anything the world had ever seen, could be. The United States was founded on the idea that ordinary people could reject the unacceptable excesses of poor leadership, band together to demand better of their government, and create a nation that would be an example for the world. And this year, as we celebrate 250 years since America declared our independence from tyranny, I can think of no better place to speak to you as we reflect on the current state of our union. Tonight, as we watched our nation's lawmakers gather for a joint session of Congress, we did not hear the truth from our president. So let's speak plainly and honestly, and let me ask you, the American people watching at home, 3 questions.
Okay.
Is the president working to make life more affordable for you and your family?
Yes.
Is the president working to keep Americans safe both at home and abroad?
Yes.
Is the president working for you?
Yes.
As I campaigned for governor last year, I traveled to every corner of Virginia, and I heard the same pressing concern everywhere. Costs are too high in housing, healthcare, energy, and childcare. And I know these same conversations are being had all across this country. Because since this president took office last year, his reckless trade policies have forced American families to pay more than $1,700 each in tariff costs. Small businesses have suffered, farmers have suffered, some losing entire markets. Everyday Americans are paying the price. And even though the Supreme Court struck these tariffs down 4 days ago, the damage to us, the American people, has already been done. Meanwhile, the president is planning for new tariffs, another massive tax hike on you and your family. And Republicans in Congress, they remain unwilling to assert their constitutional authority to stop him. They're making your life harder. They're making your life more expensive. They're even making it more difficult to see a doctor. Rural health clinics in Virginia and across the country are already closing their doors thanks to the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, championed by the president and Republicans in Congress. And tonight, the president celebrated this law, the one threatening rural hospitals, stripping health care from millions of Americans and driving up costs in energy and housing, all while cutting food programs for hungry kids.
What the hell are you talking about?
But here in Virginia, I am working with our state legislature to lower costs and make the Commonwealth more affordable.
The Democrats are going to make things more affordable. Oh, great.
And it's not just me. Democrats across the country are laser focused on affordability in our nation's capital and in state capitals and communities across America.
I don't know,
In the
man.
most innovative and exceptional nation in the history of the world, Americans deserve to know that their leaders are focused on addressing the problems that keep them up at night. Problems that dictate where you live, whether you can afford to start a business or whether you have to skip a prescription in order to buy groceries.
It's times like these that I'm glad that I moved out of the Commonwealth. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll ask again. Is the president working to make life more affordable for you and your family? We all know the answer is no. I grew up in a house of service. My mother was a nurse and my father was a career law enforcement officer. I began my career by following in my father's footsteps as a federal agent working money laundering and narcotics cases. I worked side by side with local and state police to keep our community safe and to uphold and enforce the law. Law enforcement officers across the country know that it is a unique responsibility to do the serious work of investigating crimes, comforting victims, and making arrests. It's about building trust, and that requires an abiding sense of duty and commitment to community. And yet, our president has sent poorly trained federal agents into our cities, where they have arrested and detained American citizens and people who aspire to be Americans. And they have
Okay, first of all, those are definitely not the same thing. American citizens and people who aspire to be Americans are definitely not the same thing. So as to the first, please provide facts. As to the second, no. No.
done it without a warrant. They have ripped nursing mothers away from their babies. They have sent children, a little boy in a blue bunny hat, children.
Yes, they did. And for the life of me, I still don't know whether or not that was legal or not, because the judge's habeas didn't provide any facts or any analysis. We read it together, you and I. We read the judge's habeas for the blue bunny hat boy, and it was incredibly unhelpful. It was 2 pages of very high rhetoric and no legal analysis. So I still to this date have no idea whether or not he was properly detained or not, because even the judge can't be bothered to tell me. It's great. It's fantastic.
To far off detention centers, and they have killed American citizens in our streets. And they have done it all with their faces masked from accountability.
Yeah.
Every minute spent sowing fear is a minute not spent investigating murders, crimes against children, or the criminals defrauding seniors of their life savings.
Well, not to put too fine a point on it, but ICE and Border Patrol don't normally investigate those kinds of crimes. Those are normally done by different agencies, principally the FBI. So, no.
Our president told us tonight that we are safer because these agents arrest mothers and detain children. Think about that.
I'm thinking about it.
Our broken immigration system is something to be fixed, not an excuse for unaccountable agents to terrorize our communities.
You mean by enforcing the law? Again, I'm not saying that ICE has necessarily gotten it 100% right. We have been critical of ICE on this channel. We have been critical of the president at times on this channel, because on cases we have in fact found that they fucked it up. Right? So are they perfect? No. No, probably not so much. Have they detained U.S. citizens? I don't know what she's talking about. It's possible. I don't know for how long. I need more facts. This is fact light. I don't know what we're talking about.
After working in law enforcement, I continued my career of service as a CIA officer
Oh,
working
great.
undercover to protect the United States and our allies from global threats, terrorism, nuclear weapons, and the aggression of adversarial nations around the globe. But as the president spoke of his perceived successes tonight, he continues to cede economic power and technological strength to Russia, bow down to China, bow down to a Russian dictator, and make plans for war with Iran.
I'm not sure in what way we've bowed to either Russia or China. And I am critical of the U.S.'s current hostilities to Iran, but okay. I mean, okay.
Truth over the last year through Doge, mass firings, and the appointment of deeply unserious people to our nation's most serious positions. Our president has endangered.
Yeah, why am I only watching the response? As I mentioned earlier at the start of the stream, I missed the start of the State of the Union because I was at the gym. So I missed it, and then I just watched it on Joe's channel because I didn't want to start midstream. But seeing as I was available to start the response because I was here, I thought I'd watch the response. So that's why I was at the gym lifting things. So I was late. Sorry. So now we're here doing this.
The long and storied history of the United States of America being a force for good. So I'll ask again, is the president working to keep Americans safe, both at home and abroad? We all know the answer is no. In his speech tonight, the president did what he always does. He lied, he scapegoated, and he distracted. And he offered no real solutions to our nation's pressing challenges, so many of which he is actively making worse. He tries to divide us. He tries to enrage us, to pit us against one another, neighbor against neighbor. And sometimes he succeeds. And so you have to ask, who benefits from his rhetoric, his policies, his actions, the short list of laws he's pushed through this Republican Congress? Somebody must be benefiting. He's enriching himself, his family.
Well, as to the laws that Congress passed them, which is how that's supposed to work. I'm just a bill, only a bill, sitting here on Capitol Hill. So, if the Congress passed the law and he signed the law, that's kind of how that's supposed to be. So I don't know. Take it up with the founding fathers, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. Guys, for $5 says DNC really picked a wiener to give the response. Yeah, so far.
His friends, the scale of the corruption is unprecedented. There's the cover-up of the Epstein files, the crypto scams, cozying up to foreign princes for airplanes and billionaires for ballrooms, putting his name and face on buildings all over our nation's capital.
His name and face all over buildings? Well, if you mean the presidential portrait, then yeah, every governmental building, especially the federal ones, which is most of DC, have a portrait of the president. So yes, I suppose he has been putting his portrait all over buildings in DC because that's how that would work. Okay. I mean, yeah, okay.
This is not what our founders envisioned, not by a long shot. So I'll ask again, is the president working for you? We all know the answer is no.
Oh, no, I'm feeling pretty good about it.
About America. On our 250th anniversary, we know better than any nation what is possible when ordinary citizens, like those who once dreamed right here in this room, reject the unacceptable and demand more of their government. We see it in the determination of students organizing school walkouts all across the country, whose voices are becoming so powerful that the governor of Texas seeks to silence them. We see it in the
governor of Texas pointed out that they don't have a right to leave school, which is correct under law. They don't. So if they leave school, they can be punished for leaving school. That's right. That's the law. Guys, so to quote the State of the Union, these people are crazy. Yeah, so the governor pointed out that, yeah, if you leave school, you can be disciplined for leaving school. So, yeah, that's what he said, because it's true. Right, moving on.
Bravery of Americans in Minnesota standing up for their communities, from peacefully protesting in sub-zero temperatures to carpooling children to school so that their immigrant parents are not ripped away from them in the parking lot. As a mother of 3 school-aged daughters, I am inspired by their bravery.
If they're illegal immigrants, they should be arrested or detained, just like anyone who breaks the law. Abigail.
But I am sickened that it is necessary. And Americans across the country are taking action. They are going to the ballot box to reject this chaos. With their votes, they are writing a new story, a more hopeful story. In November, I won my election by 15 points.
Yeah, the Republicans may not do very well in the fall, although that's somewhat to be expected, but how much it is problematic. But yes, the party in power tends to lose in the midterms. So that's to be expected. And the Republicans are already on the razor's edge in both houses. So yeah, they'll probably take a loss. I mean, to how big that loss is debatable. Right now, it's not looking great, but we'll see. But yeah, okay.
And we won 13 new seats in our state legislature.
Yay.
Because voters decided they wanted something different. Our campaign earned votes from Democrats, Republicans, independents, and everyone in between, because they knew as citizens they could demand more, that they could vote for what they believe matters, and that they didn't need to be constrained by a party or political affiliation. This is happening across the country. New Jersey elected Mikey Sherrill as governor in a double-digit victory.
If they win 20 or more in the House, what will my takeaway be? I don't know that I'll have any particular takeaway, to be honest. If we lose the majority in the House, which seems very likely, then anything else after that is sort of just bonus for the Dems. So I don't know that I'll have any particular takeaway, but I'm more of a legal analysis channel than a political analysis channel, so not really my domain. Guys, says Spam Hamburger is running VA into the pit of hell with the biggest bait and switch ever, just like Islami Kami Mandami did to New York City. Nice alliteration. I do appreciate your super chat very much. Where I live in Virginia, Nova, Northern Virginia, Alexandria, principally, Fairfax County. Yep, right on the border of DC. Yep, that's where I lived.
Democrats flip state legislative seats in places like Georgia, Iowa, Mississippi, and Texas. The list goes on and on. Ordinary Americans are stepping up to run in the spirit of our forefathers. They are running to demand more and to do more for their neighbors and communities. I know the story well. I first ran for office in 2018 alongside dozens of other Democrats who did the seemingly impossible, flipping 41 seats in Congress. In my case, I was the first Democrat elected in 50 years, swinging our district 17 points. Those who are stepping up now to run will win in November, because Americans, you at home, know you can demand more, and that we are working to lower costs. We are working to keep our communities and our country safe, and we are working for you.
I live in Houston now. Yes, I used to live in Fairfax. Now I live in Houston.
In his farewell address, George Washington warned us about the possibility
I lived in Fairfax
of,
for like 15 years.
Cunning, ambitious,
now I live in
and
Houston.
unprincipled men rising to power. But he also encouraged us, all Americans, to unite in a common cause, to move this nation forward. That is our charge once more, and that is what we are seeing across the country. It is deeply American and patriotic to do so, and it is how we ensure.
Guys, says, I didn't know that our forefathers were Bolsheviks. Cute. Yeah.
Sure that the state of our union remains strong, not just this year, but for the next 250 years as well, because we, the people, have the power to make change, the power to stand up for what is right, the power to demand more of our nation. May God bless the Commonwealth of Virginia, and may God bless the United States of America.
Well, at least she kept it short. Thank God for that. So she kept it short. I do appreciate that.
And that was Democratic Governor.
Well, I guess that's the end of that stream. That's very exciting. So only 20 minutes. So I appreciate the keeping it short. Just a lot of platitudes and nonsense. Yeah. But like, yeah. So I didn't kill myself. So that's nice. I made it through without, actually harming myself in any way. So that's a real plus. So all that good stuff. And I thought overall for the parts of the State of the Union that I heard, it sounded fine to me. And it sounded good. And then I did like, although it's a little, what would you say? A little bit showboaty. But I did like him giving that 100-year-old veteran the Medal of Honor. That was kind of cool. If a little bit pompy, but that's okay. It's pompy in honor of the troops. I guess it's fine. But I did like that, and I liked, I liked him mentioning Charlie Kirk. That was pretty cool. And I mentioned my face is getting skinnier. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am working out hard at the gym and continue to work out hard at the gym. So I'm trying to go every day or 6 days a week as I do. And thank you. I am trying hard to work out at the gym and become a thinner, more fit, uncivil. So kick ass. Yeah. What are my gains and losses? Well, I don't know that I track it in that respect, but I hit my 1,000-pound club on January 15th, which was my major goal. So I hit 1,000 pounds. So I did 355 squat, 300 bench, and 345 deadlift, I think, is what it panned out to be. So I hit my 1,000 pounds combined, and I have dropped weight since then. Because I was, pushing myself really, really hard. So I brought myself kind of down. And then I'm working my way back up a little bit to give my body some chance to recover. So right now, I probably couldn't even hit those 1 rep max numbers right now because I'm not quite there. I dropped down to work my way back up so I wouldn't exhaust myself. So I probably haven't improved on those numbers, but the hope is that by the end of the 90-day cycle I'm on now, that maybe I'll bring those numbers up a little bit, but we'll see. But I don't track it on the regular. You don't normally do a max lift, until you kind of have to. So, so it's a little bit hard to say. You need to work on tone, not mass. I'm doing both. Yeah, I'm doing bodybuilding and see, that's also, I changed my programming because before I was doing 100% powerlifting and now I'm doing a 50-50 split. So now I'm doing 50% bodybuilding, 50% powerlifting. So I'm 50-50 splitting it, which also keeps my, makes me not gain as fast, but helps my body be in better tone. So yeah, I'm on a 50-50 split right now. So I've got that going for me. So that's where we're at. So yeah, power volume, something like that. Yeah. So we're on a 50-50 split. So yeah, it's going fine. But I'll give you what I did today. Give me a second. I'll pull up my numbers from today. Just to give you an idea of what I'm doing right now. So today we did bench. We did 225 by 6, then we went back down to 205 by 6, 205 by 6, and 215 by 6. Then we did dumbbell lateral raise, 4 sets of 20 at 10. We did reverse pec deck. So that's for the, not the fly, but the, reverse anyway. We did 100 by 10, 140 by 10, 160 by 10, and then 130 by 10. Tricep push down, 110 by 10, 120 by 10, 120 by 10. Then we did pec deck normal, 100 by 10, 130 by 10, 160 by 10. Back extension machine, 150 by 15, 180 by 15, 210 by 15, and 180 by 10. And that's what we did today in the gym. So a nice little workout, if I don't say so myself. So all that good stuff. Do I do leg press? Yeah, sometimes, but not today. But yes, I do leg press in addition to squats. Yes, I do those things. So yes, I can do quite a lot on the leg press. I can do what was my last, for reps? I did 760 pounds for reps on leg press. I can do a lot on leg press. Oh, guys, $5. Working out is ebb and flow journey now. Matter the program. Protect your joints and ligaments. Better for longevity. I do all those things. So all that good stuff. I do belt squats too. I do a lot of different stuff to try to make things work. So, it's all good. But yeah, that's what's going on at the gym. So I'm feeling it. I'm feeling strong and feeling good. I have a long way to go, but hey, we're making progress. So, we'll do a mock meet again in 90 days or something. We'll try again and see where we are on the lifts and reevaluate. Should be good. Do I feel good when I leave the gym? Depends. Usually I feel a little tired when I leave the gym, but then yeah, I get like that endorphin high a little bit later. So usually when I get home and sit down, then I feel the endorphin high a little later. So usually when I lift the gym, I'm kind of tired, but an hour later, I feel great. So I got that going on for me. So yeah, all that good stuff. Did you guys like the video I put out today? I spent a lot of time on it. It seemed to do okay, but not great. I did this whole kind of expose video on the colonial land or colonial thing in Houston, the massive land development scheme fraud thing. So I did a whole video on that I thought turned out really well. Didn't do super great in the numbers, but I thought it was really good. So check that out if you haven't already. So I thought it was a good video, really talked about everything in some detail. So, in any event, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. So I hope you've had a good day. I've had a good day, and we'll talk again later. Wait a second. Oh. One second. Your capture device. Oh, nice. Okay, so now I have vertical video. Excellent. So I can go ahead and record that. Cool. Okay. All right, cool. Now I can record video or vertical video. Very cool. Excellent. All right. I'm going to talk to you later. Until later, my friends. All is well. Cheers for now, my friends, and goodbye.